want to show you the most important thing that you need, and it's the Holy Grail, and anyway, without it, you can't do anything. That's a joke. Anyway, we're going to play.
That's the key.
It's not actually a joke. This is the most important thing besides this that you'll ever need.
When we talk about what key we're playing it in, that's what you're
Yeah, we're playing in that key. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2. So, oh, you already, hang on one second. Yeah, man. Okay. There we go. Okay, so, the three of us have played, in a few situations, you know. Not for a very long time, but long enough, you know.
Yeah.
But as far as in this kind of configuration, we've played, we haven't played like this before,
No,
you know.
first time.
It's always been either blues or R&B or, and Jay's got a really nice group where he plays pedal steel, which is really, really nice. And so, just to let you know, Mark has played like Johnny Winter, and who else have you played with?
Joe Bonamassa.
Joe Bonamassa,
Yeah.
you know. And Jay's been in the studio scene in Los Angeles for, oh gosh, forever, you know. Although we never crossed paths, you know. I was in Los Angeles for a while, you know. But we finally got to play. We had to come to Texas to play together. So, but the thing I wanted to touch on is like when you play, how many of you play in bands right now? Okay. How's it going? Yeah? Good? Yeah. So what I try and do, we're just going to talk about playing in a band. You know, we already know Daniel before gave a really great clinic on how to keep time and how to, you know, what's the most important part of the drum set, which is the drum key. But the thing is, it's like checking out where everybody else lives. He also made a point which was really great, which I loved, and that's everybody's responsible for the time. And that really comes into playing together. I don't know, you may experience, how many want to become professional musicians? Cool, but you may, yes, cool. You may experience sometimes, there's always one guy that goes, this is where the tongue is. You know, to me, that's cool, but it's not playing together, you know. It's like, I wouldn't say it's a compromise, it's a collaboration. You know, to expand on what Daniel said today. And and that's where it is, because when you play in a band, you're playing together. You're not playing at each other, you're playing with each other. You know what I mean? You know, I'm sure you've all experienced that. I'm sure you've all experienced when it's not happening. And then you have to have discussions on why the groove isn't happening. That goes along with everything else. But the other thing is communicating with your other bandmates, you know, and supporting each other. I always call it checking out where the other guy lives. You understand what I'm saying here? You know, it's, you know, you don't say, like if I went up to Mark and I went, hello, you know, rather than, hi, how you doing? How's it going?
Yeah.
Jay, where's that $5 you owe?
Hey, hey, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah,
Instead of,
drop in and
oh, yeah, right. Instead of hello, I'm gonna stay here in my, you know, whatever, you know, it's a community thing. So I'm just gonna keep it simple right there. Mark?
Yeah, I definitely concur, and
By the way, I hate his guts.
but you'd never know, that's the thing. I would have to say absolutely yes on everything you said, and trying to think of what I could add. Checking out where people live, and especially everybody being responsible for time. I'm not following the drummer kind of thing. It's the drummer keeps the time and everyone else gets to do what they want. It's not that. And to take maybe the playing with each other idea maybe one step farther, or to add to it, you know, it's a conversation. Music's a language, right? Everyone talks about how it's the ultimate emotional language and it transcends all this stuff, and we can get into all that deep stuff. But the bottom line is we're all having a conversation up here, to create something that's coherent, where everybody understands each other, right? And what ends up happening is that something coherent and something that makes sense, and because it does make sense, it will sound good, comes across. It's not like three people playing three different things. So if you're burning to play a certain thing, but that thing that you want to play doesn't really jive well with what the other people are playing, you got to make some adjustments. And hopefully they will too. But you can't just say, I'm doing this and that's it, right? Because if you were talking to someone, or you're having a meeting with a couple of people, or you're hanging out with your friends, that ain't how it works either, right? The vibe would be terrible. So, you know, think of it that way sometimes. If you're running up, if you guys are playing and it's, you know, maybe not as good as you think it might be, you know, make some adjustments. Listen. I can't tell you how many musicians that I've come across that when they're playing, they don't listen. That's like a painter painting with his eyes closed. Makes no sense. So listen.
I totally agree, and it's an issue of respect. The other thing too is your volume level. You know, if everybody is on 11 to start with, there's not much place to go. So if you're taking a solo, you need to step up a little bit, make your statement, and then come back so that you're cohesive with the group. The other thing too is, in terms of soloing, try to develop your ideas. And you know what? It's totally acceptable to play simple. Something really simple. If you pick the right notes, you don't have to compensate by playing 64th notes for 5 bars. And it's kind of the same way. If you know, it's like some people use a ton of profanity to make a point when they could have said it in a very few words, but succinctly. And there's no reason for that, you know. So, and the other thing too is just having fun. We don't have to be musicians, we get to be. And all of us, have gotten to experience a certain kind of thing that maybe people in other occupations experience in a different way, but it's being in the zone where everybody was playing together and it was just great. And you know, they say that all gigs are like a 3-legged stool. It's the cats in the band, the money, and the music. And we've all experienced like a 2-legged stool. It's such a drag. Great bread, but horrible music and fun musicians. Other one, you know, is terrible bread, but the music is great and the cats are great too.
Quantity and quality, right?
Exactly. So the number one thing I just want to say, and I think we'd all agree, is just that have fun in what you do. And you're so blessed and so gifted to be showing musical talent and a propensity toward pursuit of this wonderful thing. It really is so special. And as far as teachers go, and I maybe speak for myself, I don't know if you guys have classes or teaching also, but I'm just so privileged and honored to be in your presence. And there's not a single year that I've done this that I didn't come away learning something neat, really wonderful, and being very humbled by the other cats in the faculty too. So that's my deal.
Put your hands one more time. Joe Morales on alto saxophone. Paul Beemer on piano. Jay Leach on guitar. Mark Epstein on bass. Don Braden on the drums. So I have two questions. Hey, Joe?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna need you to dash to the office and help over there, if you would, por favor.
Thank you. Actually.
See, it's not all fun and games. What's that? Not all fun and games.
That's not all.
You gotta treat it as a business.
But you know what, before Joe leaves, you know what, for you guys to leave, I have two questions. One of them is a big question, which is one of our themes in Texas Jazz and Blues Camp is to address the idea of the importance of the jazz and the importance of blues in any way you want to think of it, because they're very, from a perspective of music of the whole planet, jazz and blues are huge. I mean, blues has influenced pretty much every style of Western music, and then blues is at the core of what makes jazz sound jazz, right? So, and then jazz has influenced almost every Western music. So it's a pretty profound thing if you look at it in a big way. So can we succinctly, before you go and take care of our business, can you just give us your commentary about why blues and jazz matter?
Well,
one sentence, without blues, there wouldn't be jazz. And we get these questions all the time. You know, there's the blues, as compared to jazz, there's so many different kinds of blues. There's, you know, I would say hundreds of kinds of blues. And there are different ways to play the blues. There's slow blues, there's B.B. King blues, there's Kansas City blues, there's Chicago blues. And then there's Texas blues, which is very unique in the blend of how we do things down here, because he's a jazz drummer. We both play with Alan Haynes. Alan Haynes is a very famous blues guy. But then Tom Brechtlein also is a great jazz drummer. He played blues in New York City with a very famous blues artist named Johnny Winter. But he's from Texas, yes, but when you were living up there. And the importance of blues is just like it's a foundation of jazz. So one quick question, how many bars in a 12-bar blues? Well, I've heard 13 and I've heard 11 and I've heard 16 because people raise their hand and say, well, I can explain it.
What color was George Washington's white horse? Who was buried in Grant's tomb?
There are things that will be obvious to you when you're learning how to play the blues or when you're learning how to play jazz, but the main important thing is learn how to play your instrument. You know, learn how to read music, learn how to listen to music, learn how to listen to blues, learn how to listen to jazz. You can hear blues all day long on the radio or whatever you listen to these days and not really listen. So listen to a lot of the hit songs you hear today, especially the country tunes, they're all blues tunes, you know. Play me a little blues in G, but play it like a country. Put one, like two, 1, 2, 3, and. I want to go downtown and ride my horse. Yes, I do, 'cause I love Taylor Swift. But music is music, blues is blues. Then you go here. Country blues, you can do it too. Everybody can play the blues. That's how music is made, okay? All right. So everything started with the blues. You can go home and write a country hit song with those chord progressions, okay? Anything else that I'll leave? Oh, and blues and jazz is life. If you compare it to life, it's life. Because when you wake up in the morning, you're improvising. The minute you wake up, you're improvising. Think about it. You don't know where you're going to be in an hour. Not really. Unless you have Google Maps. But seriously, you're improvising all day long. But you improvise what you study. Okay? When a teacher tells you write an essay, you're improvising. Okay? Take whatever I said with either a big grain of salt or a tiny grain of salt, but have fun this week, right? You're amongst a bunch of great people here. And Don Braden is an amazing person. He's my brother from another mother. I agree with everything he says. He doesn't always agree with everything I say, but life is beautiful. No, he's a beautiful person. Let's hear it for Don Braden, okay? Okay, now I gotta get to work. Go to work.
One more time for Joe Morales.
I mean, just real quick. Sure.
Go for it.
I mean, it's built off of what Joe just said. It really, to me, is a universal experience and feeling. So not having blues or jazz for me would be like not having an essential human experience like happiness. But blues isn't so concrete or specific, but it's just every time I hear it, I feel it. And that's what brought me to it in the first place. It feels good. I have fun playing it. And I hope to bring that to other people too. And that's my gist right there. It just really is an essential experience and feeling that I get when I play it and I hear it and share it. So, universal.
Why blues and jazz matter to you?
I agree that I think jazz did come from blues. I'm not an expert on that. I tell you, probably all these guys know more about it really than I do as far as the evolution and the history. But all I know is that, you know, I don't remember, I can't remember exactly the initials that I used to use for this, but it was the IHT LTP blues. And it was, I don't have them, but I love to play them, blues. But I used to have the acronym right down perfect. And that's really true. And you know, it's like not every blues tune is I broke a front tooth and I lost my girlfriend, or you know. But man, it's just really fun to play. And I have to tell you, like for example, I'm never going to get sick of this sound. Say, but I'm just blessed to be with you.
All right. Mr. Mark Epstein, how does blues and jazz matter to you, sir?
Okay. I'll take a different tack. I mean, I feel everything everybody's been feeling up here. It's like water and air to me. But I think blues and jazz is probably the best thing this country had to offer the world as culture. And to me, is super important. It's not just music; it's culture. I mean, it's got age. It came from slavery. That's where blues got started. And so, it's deep. It's real. It's not just entertainment. And y'all should be proud that you're part of that continuum.
That's right. Brechtlein, what does jazz and blues mean to you, sir? Why does it matter?
I got a little story where it does matter. You know, I'm gonna name drop, so forgive me. But you know, back in the olden days in 1999, when they delivered your milk to your house. Anyway, no, I did a stint with Natalie Cole, and we did everything from R&B to big band. We played the Sal Mystico chart, all these great charts, right? So anyway, we were in Monaco, you know, we were in Monaco, and so I heard that B.B. King was in the audience. So we started off with this, it's a great arrangement of I'm Beginning to See the Light. And it goes, and then it has all kinds of really great kicks. I think it must have been a mystical chart, I think. Yeah, it was great. Anyway, so I heard that B.B. King was in the audience, and I was, and if you tell anybody this, I'll call you a liar. I was having problems with the musical director, who was, anyway, let's put it this way, I was doing my job, correct? But anyway, I figured, you know what, I'll have a little fun. I'll play a blues double shuffle, which is, and I'll play, if anybody doesn't know, I'll play it here. Before I do this. So it's like, you know. You know, chew tobacco. Anyway, so, don't chew tobacco, it's not good for you.
Pat Boone.
Eat a lot of sugar. No. So anyway, so I knew B.B. King was in there, so I figured, well, you know, as a tip of the hat, everything that we play, big, wide swing tune, I'm going to play a double shuffle. So I didn't know. You know. So anyway, we played the whole show, and you know, I was putting the books away, and I'm going like, man, I don't know how much this music director, she's wearing me out, and it's like, you know, it was whatever, for whatever reasons. Natalie liked it. Let's put it that way. So anyway, we finished, and I, you know, putting the books away. She's like, huge books, you know, I said, I don't know. And I walked backstage. It's a makeshift stage, backstage area because it was outdoors, right? And so I walk, and this is the time where BB was really healthy and stuff. And he was waiting for me. Oh, he was waiting for me, and he was dressed. I mean, he looked sharp, man. He had this kind of like silvery type jacket. He's got his smoke, you know, sunglasses, and he's looking great. And I'm just walking in, and I hear, there he is! And I went like, what? And he goes, man, you started that thing, you know, we started the show with a double shuffle, and I couldn't control myself. I had to stand up and start dancing. He goes, but then my wife calmed me down, and you did it again. So, I mean, that's universal. I mean, as far as, to me, connecting, well, blues, then jazz, and then swing, big band, and everything else is connected to the blues, you know? So I just, you know, used my noodle and going, well, this thing swings wide, so I'm doing the blues double shuffle. And I got the nod from the man himself, you know? And I said, BB, I said, well, I called him BB. I should have called him. Okay. Anyway, but I said, you made my life tonight, you know? Because I was just kind of like, wasn't bummed, but I was just like, this is, and then you get this guy going and connected. So anyway, for what it's worth, there you go.
All right, cool. Just real quick, you play with a lot of other great people. Give a quick, don't brag too much. I know you're such a bragging guy, you know, but...
I'm just perfect. My mom told me that.
See that? Just let everybody know a few of the people I know Chick and some of the others.
Martin Short.
Oh, yeah.
I put his Jiminy Glick suit on. Anyway, I played with Chick Corea, Wayne Shorter, Al Di Meola, Jean-Luc Ponty, a lot of fusion guys. Who else? Oh yeah, Kenny Loggins. I don't know if you know who Kenny Loggins is. Danger Zone. Usually I say Danger Zone, everybody knows that. Ricky Lee Jones. You should check out Ricky Lee Jones. She's a great artist. Joe Farrell. Yeah. And that's all I can think of right now.
That's enough. That's enough. How about that? Can you guys play one more tune for us? I'll see if I can sneak in, but I gotta go back and check our combos. I'll see if I can grab a couple of those if I can. I will.
Want to do that tune summertime?
Oh, you want to do that?
Sure.
That's slow and simple.
Yep.
What's your key?
E minor?
All right.
First chord is E minor?
Yep.
You ready, Frank?
Calling it out. Just vamp for a second, and then I'll do the note.
never work in this town again. We're out of here, you know, we're fired.
Should we put a hold on New Year's? What should we do here?
So, hey, say thanks again to Tom Brechtlein, Mark Epstein, and Jay Leach.